Look, before we start, I'm gonna need a coffee. Now that that's sorted, today we need to discuss the big important question of what we do with sand that's in opal. Now, in reference to last week's video, I don't mean to be an opal without colour, a sandy Nancy, a sandy Sarah, a sandy Sam, a potchy Paul, or a cracky Carol, or even a silica cynic. But when it comes to sand in opal, it has no place. It needs to go, and it must be gotten rid of. Sand ruins an opal. It makes it imperfect and it tanks the value. Sometimes, on rare occasion, I will leave sand in an opal. Sometimes, just sometimes, you can't do anything about it and it is just hidden on the bottom of the colour bar. 99% of the time, you need to get rid of it. And that's today's lesson. And that's what we're doing. This opal today, I've had for a very long time. I've always kept it with the sand pit because I thought maybe at some point I would design a piece of jewellery, or someone would design a piece of jewellery that would involve some sort of piece of the jewellery covering up the sand spot, therefore maximising the colour. But that day has not come, and therefore we must adjust. You cannot change the wind, but you can always adjust your sails. And that's what we're doing today. So let's jump across to the workshop, let's take the sand out and polish it into a perfect gem. See you there. Oh wait. That's better. See you there. Right, we've taken the sand out and we've been left with an oval. It's quite a long oval, but it's an oval nonetheless. You're probably thinking, he's ruined it. He's gone ahead and ruined it. It was big, it was beautiful before, and he's taken some of the colour away whilst trying to take the sand out. I mean, yeah, I lost some colour, but more importantly, I lost the sand, and that was the aim of the game. I don't think I've ruined the opal. I'm not going to cut it into some free form. I think it's better just to make it a nice uniform shape, which makes it easier to sell. And that's the aim of the game. If you're gonna buy rough opal to sell it, there's no point in keeping it in a state that's not sellable. That means now we have to put it onto a dop stick, finish up the shape and polish it. So I've topped up the stick with a bit of extra dop, and now it's time to heat the stone just a little bit so it sticks to the wax. If you don't heat your stone up before putting on the dop stick, it's gonna fall off, or it's just not gonna stick. And then it's a pain because you have to re-dop it. When I first started cutting opal, I cannot tell you how many times I had to re-dop the same opal. And I don't make that mistake anymore. So take it from me, heat the stone just slightly so it sticks to the dop. It'll make your life a lot easier. The irony is, if the opal falls off the dop stick in this video, I'm not going to edit it out because that's just funny. And when you're dopping your opal, make sure that the dome on top is nice and level, so when you're making that cabochon, it's not going to be uneven. Because if it's uneven, it might as well have had sand in it. That's all I'm saying. Not quite true, but you know, you get the point I'm trying to make. And when you're happy with it, dunk it in water. Right, now I'm done with that. We need to head back over to the cabbing machine and finish the opal. And here are the results. Now I still need to finish up the back, so I'm going to go and do that now, and then we can weigh it and see the final result. So we finished cutting the opal, and as you can see it weighs just over 1.5 carats. The sand is out of the face, but remember when I said at the start of the video, sometimes it's worth keeping sand in on those very rare occasions. Well, I'm glad it's happened today so I can prove my point. Along the side of the opal you can see there's a massive pit in the potch on the back. Now that doesn't make the stone uneven when it sits flat, but obviously you can see it from the side, which means that this opal is not going to be set in a claw and it's going to be set in a bezel, which means that the sides are going to be covered. And there is a little bit of sand left in the side, but I'm able to save that weight and that width of the opal and leave that sand in along the side because it's going to be bezel set. And this is what I mean by sometimes it's worth leaving sand in. Sometimes we have no choice, but in times like this where it's definitely going to be set with walls covering all of the sides, you can make the most of that and keep the opal just slightly bigger and leave some sand just a little bit in the side to keep it as big as possible. So I'm really glad that happened so I could explain what I meant by sometimes it's worth leaving sand. Anyway, let's put that point aside. The opal's beautiful. It's obviously a black opal. It has blue-green colour and it has flagstone and floral pattern. It's a uniform shape as an oval. It's not a calibrated size, but it does have a medium to high dome, and those are all positive characteristics. Now, 1.5 carats in terms of the price, and again, I say it all the time, it's going to be a wholesale price from me, and I reckon the price for this stone would be somewhere between 100 and 150 pounds. So about £100 a carat. And that price is given by the fact that oval, black opal, brightness of 3, maybe even 4, and it has a medium to high dome. Those characteristics, I think, deserve £100 a carat. Now, you're not going to see this for sale on my shop. Why? I think I'm going to tackle it myself. I'm practicing making opal jewellery, and I think this is one where I'm willing to take the risk and set it myself. So I'm going to put it aside for the future when I've practiced a little bit more, and one day I'll make a video of me setting it into a ring, and then the ring will be available for sale. So you're going to have to stick around for that. To quote myself from last week, I guaranteed you a video today with a finished opal, and I followed through on that promise. If you've enjoyed this video, and if you've enjoyed the fact I kept to my promise, make sure you like the video. Comment down below, let me know what you think, and if you want weekly opal content, make sure you subscribe, because that's what we do it. And as always, I'll see you in a week's time.